is going on around the way? It is the 26th of August, 2024. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. So let's have this conversation. 45% of women estimated to be single and childless by 2030. Recent data predicts that 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by the time 2030 rolls around. The number of single women in the United States is expected to rise 1.2 every year. Strong and independent. Okay, moving on. We're told by our culture that a woman who is unmarried and has no children is empowered and in charge of her own life. Whoops, hold on a second. There you go. So, that's what it is. That's the culture now. We already kind of know this anyway, but that's the culture now. So a woman who is unmarried and has no children is empowered and in charge of her life. She has escaped the unnecessary burden of raising a family and being a slave to her husband. At least that's what our society has convinced us. Sadly, many women have adopted the modern feminist lifestyle and have chosen to sleep around, abort their baby if they unexpectedly get pregnant, and swear off marriage. But these cultural trends are going to have a tremendous impact on the future of American society. Morgan Stanley estimates that 45% of women in their prime working years, age 25 to 44, will be single and childless by the time 2030 arrives. 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030. Morgan Stanley published an article outlining women's impact on the American economy. The number of prime working age women in the United States has been increasingly steady, and most of them are single and completely focused on their career. They substitute a human man for their career. As a man, I'm not substituting a job or a career for family. I'm just not doing it. No, thank you. No, I'm not doing it. I refuse to do that. Yeah, absolutely. There's no point. Like, there's just no point. What point is this? Hey, I'm being a slave to my job. That's more important than my family or building something long term. No, I don't think I'll be doing that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. These women will continue to have a greater representation in the workforce, helping to boost wages. Economist Ellen Zentner explained in the past, education or lower paying occupation choices largely drove the pay gap today. Motherhood is by far the largest contributor to the wage gap, since women who become mothers often choose to stop working or work fewer hours. But it looks like there will be fewer and fewer mothers over the next couple of decades as women choose to commit themselves to work rather than start a family. Ooh. Right? The number of single women in the United States is expected to increase 1.2 every year from 2018 to 2030, compared to a 0.8% increase for the overall population. This is likely going to result in 45% of women being 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 who will be single and childless by 2030. This is an increase from 41% of women in that age group being single and childless in 2018. And it goes on to say, these shifting lifestyle norms are enabling more women, with or without children, to work full time, which should continue to raise the labor force participation rate among single females. Right? Because they think collectively, not an individualistic mindset. Pretty wild stuff, man. Pretty wild stuff. Single women spend more than the average family household, especially when it comes to travel, nightlife, eating out, skincare, beauty, retail shopping, etc. So, of course, economists will attempt to frame it in a positive light that nearly half of women are single and childless. It can only be good for the economy. However, few are considering the negative impact this will have on greater society. The birth replacement rate is already trending below replacement, and surveys show that women who are unmarried and childless tend to struggle more with mental illness and feelings of self-confidence. Really? Really? Wow. Single childless women may be buying more things at the mall and traveling to various cities, but at what cost in the long run? The bedrock of any healthy society is the nuclear family. And it's sad to think that we will see fewer and fewer families in the future, which of course means fewer children and happily married couples. Meanwhile, young women in their prime working years devote themselves to a career and a boss who doesn't truly care about them. We know this. Have promiscuous sex that has a negative impact on their mental health and miss out on the true lifelong fulfillment that comes with being a wife and a mother. So this is what the average woman, not all of them, but a high majority, they're sacrificing this for that. And that's okay. You can do what you want. Yeah, you can do what you want. If you want to sacrifice that, good luck to you. Right? But the objective is finding women with a different mindset that don't think like this, because this is crazy. So this was January 8th, 2024. What else do I got for you? I have now, I posted on X. Let me take a look at some news here. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this guy. I don't know if they released his name. So there's a lot of things going on, right? This story is crazy. We might have to cover that story. Let me see. I'm trying to think what I'm going to do here. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. So let's start with CP24. So there was a guy in Toronto, he was on a motorcycle and he was popping wheelies, right? Hammer. So I might have to start up a fresh stream, but I'll probably do that. So now Canada is restricting low-wage foreign workers, considering lower immigration targets. So they inflate the immigration policies, right? They inflate the immigration policies, and then when it gets closer to the United States election, when Trump says, yeah, start packing your bags, you're going back over, now they want to start lowering the targets. I don't believe anything they say, man. I don't believe anything they say, man. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is urging businesses to hire Canadians as his government announces new restrictions to limit the number of low-wage temporary foreign workers in the country. Could you imagine? This is still not going to save him, by the way. Ottawa is also considering whether to reduce its annual targets for permanent residency, a potentially major shift in immigration policy for the Liberals. So again, I'm going to say it again. They open the floodgates, bring everybody in from different countries. Then when people push back, like myself and other people out there, and call a spade, now they're going to shift their policies. So actually speaking up and holding these cowards accountable is important. And so here we go. In response to mounting criticism of the recent influx of temporary foreign workers, the federal government's bringing back pre-pandemic rules that made it harder for businesses to hire low-wage workers from abroad. Speaking to reporters at the Liberal cabinet retreat in Halifax on Monday, Trudeau said his government loosened the rules to help businesses. We already know that were facing labor shortages recover from the pandemic. Yeah, I already do that. But the economic situation is different now, he said, and Canada no longer needs as many temporary foreign workers. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. But we'll see. We will see. All right.